Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Holly with Colorful Crafting, and tonight I thought I would do my very first Color With Me video. This is actually my third attempt at doing this video. I don't know what my problem is. It's lately, whenever I go to do a video, I seem to have a lot of technical difficulties. But we are here, we are back. Unfortunately, I had already started the picture because, like I said, this is my third attempt. But yes, anyway. Hi, how you doing? I hope you're having a fabulous Monday evening or whatever day you happen to be watching this on. It is Monday for me. It is May 20th. It's around 9:30 at night on the East Coast where I live. And yeah, so for those of you who are unfamiliar with my channel, I am Holly, and I primarily have been using this channel for mostly unboxings and diamond painting, but I also really love coloring. I kind of fell out of it for a few months because of reasons, some of which we might get into a little bit later, but I've been wanting to get back into it for a while now, and I figured that this is the perfect opportunity. I happen to be on vacation for the next week, and when I'm working, I'm lucky if I'm able to film maybe one video a week, and one of my priorities of being on my staycation was to try and get several videos made. So yeah, go me for being productive. Anyway, tonight I'll be working on this picture from Chibi Greyscale, and I will be using my Cali Arts, which are pretty much my favorite markers. And I'm working on her kimono, which is not, I keep calling it a kimono. Technically it's not a kimono because it's pants, but I'm gonna be doing this red and then this greenish gray color, which I don't know how well that's coming out, but then again, it never turns out to be the color on the cap, so we will see. Anyway, so hopefully while you're watching this video, you will grab whatever project you happen to be working on and sit back and spend a little time with me as I talk your ear off for a little while. So as I said, I'm on vacation, and so far I've been enjoying it. I know I just said I was being productive in trying to do some videos, but other than that, I really don't feel like I've gotten very much accomplished. Every time I go into a vacation, I always feel like there's a bunch of things that I want to do, and I very rarely get everything done. Which just goes to show you how my brain works, because most people have time off from work and all they think about is like just laying around and, you know, reading or watching TV or whatever. And I enjoy doing those things too, but because I work so much, being off is really the only time that I have to get a lot of chores done. But you know what? Take it a day at a time, because before I know it, I'll be going back to work and being whiny and miserable again. So anyway, so about an hour ago, I was sitting out on the back deck with roommate Tom, and again, if you're not familiar with my channel, you will hear me talk about my roommate Tom quite a bit. We were sitting out on the back deck, and we got this wicked thunderstorm. I love thunderstorms. Unfortunately, our dog Byron does not, so we ended up coming back in the house. But it was nice. Very short-lived, unfortunately. It ended shortly after it started. I could listen to a thunderstorm all night. I really could. I find it very soothing and relaxing. And for a while there, we were having a lot of rain. But the last few days have just been absolutely gorgeous. We're actually having a springtime which we don't normally have. I live in New Jersey, and the last couple of years, it's gone from being extremely, let me make sure this is actually in frame what I'm doing. I apologize that I can't, I've tried to zoom in, it's not working. It's like, it's either like this, or it's super duper close up. I'm using my phone. Maybe by the next time I do the next video, I might be able to figure out a better setup. But anyway, the weather around here usually goes from being extremely cold with lots and lots of snow to like 90-degree weather. But this year, we're actually getting a spring, which is really nice, because it's been 70-degree weather for the last week or so. Yeah. And I don't know about you guys, but I do not deal with the heat very well. I really don't like the heat. I would much rather be cold than hot, especially now, because not the most cheerful subject to talk about on a video, but because of my age, I will be 46 in October. Yeah, I feel the heat more because I think I might be heading into menopause, so I'm thinking that I'm getting hot flashes. And I know what you're saying to yourself. You think you're getting hot flashes? Yeah, I know that I'm getting hot flashes. It's just me holding on to my youth. But yeah, so the heat, I don't deal well with the heat. Yeah, so. But you know what? The whole menopause thing, it doesn't really bother me that much. If getting hot a couple times a day is the worst symptom that I get, I can handle it. I'll be fine. I mean, hey, I already had the mood swings, so that's nothing new. Anyway, so a couple people asked me why, or what made me decide to start my channel. Well, first of all, like I said, I did call my channel Colorful Crafting because I didn't want to just call it like diamond painting with Holly or coloring with Holly or anything like that, because I do enjoy doing both, and I wanted to have a place where I could do both. It just so happens that lately it's mostly been diamond painting. And part of the reason why, oh, I think I did that wrong. I did do that wrong. Dagnabbit. Alright, well, this whole thing is just going to be red then. Yeah, so completely lost my train of thought. Wow, it is very difficult to try and concentrate on coloring and not leaving streaks and talking. Who knew I would find it difficult to do both at the same time. Anyway, yeah, so I wanted to make sure that I could have a place where I could do both and do other things that I might end up enjoy doing as well. But the main, okay, so I got into coloring, adult coloring, probably about 2 or 3 years ago. And because I loved to color when I was a kid. My mom and my dad were very creative, and my mom taught me how to crochet, and she also knew how to knit. I tried to learn how to knit, I wasn't comfortable doing knitting. My dad and my mom and I used to all do paint by numbers. I really enjoyed paint by numbers, and I see they're kind of coming back now. So yeah, but when the whole adult coloring things boom started, I got into it and started buying books, and I think I started with just a box of crayons and one coloring book, and it kind of took off from there, and it was a great source of relaxation for me, because as a lot of people who've discovered diamond painting and coloring, especially more recently, I also have a lot of issues with anxiety and depression, and the coloring really helped. And you know, I threw myself fully into coloring, bought tons of books, had, you know, the best pencils and the best markers. Every time I would see somebody review a new brand of markers, I immediately had to run and get them, because I wanted to have all the best tools. And that's kind of what happens with me when I find something that I really enjoy doing. I go all in. It's my 3 hobbies that I have are diamond painting, coloring, and reading. Reading I have done since I was a little girl. That has never gone away, my love of reading. I don't read nearly as much as I used to, unfortunately, because of work. And as I get older, I'm finding it more difficult to stay focused on a book, especially longer books, because I don't have as much time to read. When I was younger and I was working nights, I used to read 3 or 4 books a week, no problem. But because of my schedule, and I get up so early, and I happen to live with a dude who likes to hang out after dinner, so it's a little difficult to read when you're talking with someone. I quite like that color. It's a very vibrant red. What is this called? Geranium. That's a really nice color. I like it. Anyway, you will find that I tend to get easily distracted. You'll get used to me. I'm lovable, if scatterbrained. So if hopefully you'll be able to handle my squirrel brain. But yeah, there was like I said, I kind of threw myself into coloring for the longest time, and without getting into a lot of detail, and I am being messy as heck tonight, man. Without getting into a bunch of detail, I'll just say that after a while of like always wanting to try and get the best tools and, you know, all the latest coloring books that everybody was talking about, it became not fun anymore. And there was a lot of drama, and I was just putting a lot of pressure on myself, because I always felt like, and anybody who colors, you know as well as I, that there are people out there who are like amazing. They just blow my mind with their ability to their ability to take a picture in a book and use the same pencils and the same markers that I have, and just blow me away at how talented they are. And I, unfortunately, do not have the same level of creativity as a lot of other people. And I was putting way too much pressure on myself to, every time I would do a picture and I didn't think it looked great, I would beat myself up about it. And that probably sounds really dumb, but it's 100% how I felt. And finally I had to take a step back and be like, you know what, this is supposed to be relaxing, this is supposed to be helping you. It's not fun anymore, you should probably take a step back. And that's what I did. And around that time I discovered diamond painting, which has been a lifesaver for me. There is a channel on here, a fellow colorist as well as diamond painter, Anne from A Colorful Life. She's been one of my favorite YouTubers for a very long time, and one day, see, I love her videos especially because, you know, she tends to make really long videos, and I don't know how you guys watch your videos, but I usually put something on and work on whatever project I have going at the moment, and the longer the video, the better. So one day, instead of coloring, she did an unboxing on a diamond painting, and I had never heard of them before, and watched her video and saw all the colored beads and everything, and I was intrigued. And YouTube, being the big brother that it is, the next time I went on Facebook, it started popping up with ads for diamond paintings, including a company called Diamond Art Club, and it was a promotion where if you paid for shipping, you get your first kit for free, and that's pretty much where it started. And so once I got into that, I did the exact same thing that I did with coloring with diamond painting. I just threw myself into it, and yeah, the rest is history. I've spent the last 3 months diamond painting, and with few exceptions, it's been a wonderful experience. It's helped me so much with my anxiety, and yeah, and it doesn't require nearly as much creativity as coloring does. But having said that, I have really missed, I think I'm gonna get a different color. I don't think this one's gonna work, so I'm gonna continue to chat as I go. I'm gonna get a different color gray. Okay, we're gonna go with blue-gray and hope that this doesn't look bad together. Alright, here goes nothing. Like I said, I just began to really miss coloring. So I think I realized, and I'm not really liking this, but it'll work. I think I just need to keep reminding myself that it's a hobby. I don't do this for a living. It's not like I'm getting paid, or, you know, I'm trying to get paid. Any kind of art, any kind of creative outlet can be art, if that makes any sense. And it probably doesn't. And I really do not like this. Oh, it's all streaky and everything. Ugh. Bad choice, Holly. Oh well. Anyway, so even though I was away from coloring, I never stopped watching Anne's channel. And one of the things that I love so much about her channel is, you know, I feel like I know her, not only her, but her whole family, because, you know, I can relate a lot to her because she takes care of her parents, and I did the exact same thing. You know, we like the same kind of books and movies, and I love her sense of humor. She's very sassy, and yeah, so Anne is great. If you haven't watched any of her videos, I highly recommend you do so now, because she's so freaking entertaining. Okay, so I was also thinking about what I would talk about in this video, because, you know, part of me is like, well, you know, you might get a completely different group of people watching your videos, considering it's for coloring instead of diamond painting. So you don't want, you know, you might want to introduce yourself and talk about why you started your channel and blah, blah, blah. But then I'm thinking, well, you know, maybe your subscribers that you already have would be watching this and you don't want to repeat yourself. So it's a fine balance, people. It's a fine balance. I think part of the reason, I think this might be getting dry. That's part of the reason why it's giving me problems. So, anyway, I would love to hear about you guys, your coloring habits. Do you prefer markers or pencils? And if so, which ones are your favorites? Which ones do you find are easier to work with? Like I said, the Cali arts are my favorites. I just love the color are more the colors are more vibrant. There's more choices. I do have pencils. I'm terrible with pencils though. But I was, before I my coloring hiatus started, I was practicing more with pencils, getting a little bit better. That's another thing. You know, I used to beat myself up about spending all this money on these expensive coloring books, and then I would get them and I'd be too afraid to color in them because I would be too afraid that I was gonna mess up the book. And I'm like, this is what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to color in them. It's a coloring book, Holly. But yeah. And it's funny because I definitely have an obsessive personality. And like I said, when I find something that I enjoy doing, I go in like 110%. So whereas I was just buying everything under the sun, with coloring I'm doing that now with diamond painting. So I have like all these canvases and you know, drill pens and different sized trays for the diamonds and all these different storage options. And you know, I like to think I'm a simple girl, but I'm not. But it makes me happy, you know. Even when I'm being teased by roommate Tom, it makes me happy. And you know, I very much dislike my job. I find my job to be extremely stressful, and it's one of the, you know, my hobbies. My diamond painting and coloring and reading, you know, they help me deal with the stress. You know, I'd rather come home and diamond paint or color or read for a couple hours before I go to bed than, you know, take my frustrations out on roommate Tom, because I know he wouldn't like that either. Because a grumpy Holly is not someone you want to be around. Just saying. So, anybody who is discovering my channel for the first time, I would love some questions from you guys. Feel free to ask me anything that you want to know. I'm pretty much an open book, and I am relatively new with my crafting channel. I've only had it up for a few months. It's still very small, which is okay. It's okay with me. But I do have another channel which I have been woefully lacking in updating, which is a book-centric channel, which is called This Bookish Endeavor. If I remember, I will leave a link in the drop-down box. And I've had that up for several years, probably going on 7 or 8 years at this point, maybe longer. And it's just everything books. I do reviews, unboxings, I do tags. I really enjoy doing tags. And yeah, so I'm not a stranger to making videos for YouTube, but I am out of practice. And even though I have had this channel up for a couple of months now, and it is getting easier, I still feel like I'm out of practice. And so it's a learning experience, you guys. But any kind of questions or comments or suggestions, all of them are appreciated. And I'm glad I remembered to turn the notification or the ringer off on my phone, because my phone is blowing up right now. So one of my friends just decided to go on a texting spree. That would have been annoying. So yay me for actually remembering to turn it off. Okay. Excuse me, did I get all of this color? Because it's so pale and so light that I can't even tell. I think I did. And I think I'm going to attempt to do her skin now. Now, this is what I really struggle with. I struggle with doing skin tones. Because like I said, I tend to, alright, we'll just do this one. Woo. Man down, man down. Okay. I tend to, I guess, go really slowly, and because of that, I end up usually having streaks. So my skin tones, actually, I use these, which are Studio 71. They're really good. I like these a lot. I've had much better luck with not streaking using these. So, another thing you'll find on my channel is that I tend to babble about various books and TV shows and stuff like that I watch. Oh, my allergies, they're driving me crazy. The pollen here in New Jersey has just been really terrible lately. And yeah, so I'm constantly itching. I'm a wimp. I'm doing her foot first, because if it streaks, who cares about the foot, right? One of the things that I love about Greyscale is that it takes care of all of the shading for you, because I am not good at blending. I was getting better with pencils with blending, but with like markers and stuff, no. I don't have the knack for that kind of stuff. Maybe, and a lot of it I think is I don't have the patience for it either. Yeah. I'm more into the sort of instant gratification. I want the results, but that's her foot, right? That's not the shoe. That's gotta be her foot. Yeah. So, something that I have been talking about a lot on my channel lately has been Game of Thrones. I don't know if any of you guys watch it. If you have, what did you think of this past season? I'm not going to get into any spoilers, but yesterday was the series finale, and yeah, so what did you guys think of how they chose to end it? I was not happy. I was one of the people who pretty much tried to defend them this season with the choices that they made. Can't really defend how the last episode ended up, but I talked more about it in my last video, which was a whip and chat, which I put out last night. But yeah, I actually really like this. I like the shading on the skin. Gotta love the Greyscale. Yeah, so Tom and I usually watch all of our TV shows together, like the old married couple that we are. And that was his favorite show for the longest time. Was, I can't tell, is that part of the sword or is that her hand? I can't tell. Alright, we're gonna make it part of the sword because it just doesn't seem physically possible for that to be part of her hand. Anyway, as I was saying, squirrel. Yeah. Game of Thrones, oh my god, he would get so excited every season when it would start. He's kind of not loved it nearly as much as he used to. So I think he's probably just as happy as I am that it's over now. Because for me, now it being over means I can go back to, because I'm rereading the series. I'm actually listening to them on audiobook because I've been doing a lot of my reading on audiobooks lately because it's perfect, because when I'm doing my diamond painting or coloring or anything like that, I can put an audiobook on and I'm doing two things I love to do, and I manage to focus on both of them. So it's awesome. So I'm about halfway through the second book in the Game of Thrones series, which is A Clash of Kings. And I read the series, well, I read the first 3 books, I believe, years and years ago when they first originally came out. And then I became frustrated because they just, you know, everybody knows he's been writing the 5th book or the 6th book in the series for what seems like 40 years. It's only been like 5 or 6, but still. And honestly, I'm getting to the point now where I'm really thinking that he's just not going to live long enough to finish the series. But I'm telling you something right now, this again is not a spoiler. I really hope, even if the books end the way the show ends, I hope he takes a different path in getting there. I hope it doesn't feel nearly as rushed as it did on the show. Yeah, so as I said, is she wearing an undershirt? Oh, God. All right, this is... That's another thing with the coloring. I always question, like, various things. Like in the drawing. I'm never 100% sure of what I'm coloring. Unless it's something overtly obvious. But, yeah, so Tom and I, we tend to watch all of our TV shows together. We spend the vast majority of the time that we are home together, like a married couple, I'm telling you. And so one of okay, sorry, I was concentrating. There's gonna be streaks because again, I'm going very slow. Probably should have used the chisel. Oh, it's gonna be... Just bear with me, you guys. I'll go the same way, Holly. What are you doing? Yeah, we noticed when we were having dinner tonight that most of the shows we enjoy watching are over. If not just for the season, then like for good. Because we watch Walking Dead, This Is Us, which is my favorite show. And he likes Shameless. I really do not like that show at all. I watch it because he likes it. Yeah, you know, if it was just up to me, I probably wouldn't watch hardly any television at all. Yeah, because I'm much more into reading. I would much rather sit and read all night than watch television, because I didn't watch hardly anything before I moved in with Tom. He's the one who's got me back into watching television. What color should we make the eyes? I think we should go with a different color, because I want to do her hair a different color too. I don't usually go for doing the traditional blonde or brown. Let's make her eyes purple or violet. This is hyacinth. So I don't know how well you can see that. That's what we're gonna try. I think I'm pretty much going to wrap things up once I finish doing her eyes. Yeah, because, you know, 40 minutes or so is more than enough babble from Holly. I really just wanted to get my first one of these coloring videos under my belt, because usually once I get the first one out of the way, I feel much more comfortable the next time I come around. It might be a little dark, but I like it. She kind of looks like she's got alien eyes, but you know, she might be in fashion. Again, the color on the cap never matches what actually comes out, but that's okay. If anybody's wondering, purple is my favorite color. So you will see me using a lot of purple in my coloring. She really does. She looks like she's got alien eyes, but that's okay. She's an alien ninja, so that makes her a badass in my book. All right, you guys, I think that pretty much does it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching, and like I said, if you have any questions or comments or anything, please leave them in the down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and yeah, I really I'm sorry, I'm getting a little loopy, I'm tired, it's late. Yeah, so thanks for watching, you guys. I look forward to doing many more of these Color With Me videos, and shoot me a comment, email me, do anything that you want, reach out and touch someone. Yeah. I think I chose the correct time to end this video. Okay, I will talk with you guys very soon. Thank you so much for watching, and have a good night, guys.